Gary!
Seinfuck.
My grandmother had 6 Christmas trees. 6. You know what was happening was she would like put them away and then she would forget that she had them.
And she'd buy new fake Christmas trees, yeah.
And like the problem is like we're clearing it. We're recording this episode on 9/11, which I want to say is just another day in Canada.
To us, it's Monday.
Did your grandma buy the Christmas trees with Canadian Tire dollars?
It's like I feel like every Canadian grandmother and like older parent probably went through a phase at some point in the 90s, early 2000s, where they were like, I'm going to get a deal with my Canadian Tire money.
I can't believe you fucking guy started recording while I was walking my dog and I said, wait.
We just thought it'd be funny if you came in with no context as to what we've been talking about.
And we're talking about Canadian Tire money, which is a real thing with
Beefing because I'm stroganoff, is it?
Well, it's just like their money is fake already. Now they have another fake currency to go along with.
$20 Queen Elizabeth bill.
You know, I saw a TikTok recently that talked about what Canadian bills used to look like, and it was awesome. We used to have birds on every single bill. Remember that, Malcolm?
Yeah.
Was that before or after you guys were, owned by the Queen?
We have never not been owned by British Crown.
Yeah.
So.
You were was it before or after you were a colony?
You know why your money looks like that, Sasha? It's because your country's for the birds. Got him.
the beer cracking in the background for that. That was awesome. Cameras on, boys. Let's see those pretty faces.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
It looks like a phantom out of the fucking.
Malcolm, can you describe what we're looking at right now?
He looks. He's got no shirt on. He is in complete darkness. He's in complete darkness, and he is stroking his chin as if he has a beard. He's clean shaven. He's been flicking his nips.
You get the full pepperoni nips, yeah.
I don't know if they're pepperoni. I can't actually see his nips from my
can't.
angle.
Harper, you want to lean back a bit? Let's see them titties.
Oh, well, not until you subscribe to my premium Snap service. Robert, will you marry me?
We need context. We're not a visual podcast.
Yeah, not yet. No, he's got a fidget spinner that's glow in the dark. It's got got green and red and blue lights. It's just spinning. It's electric.
Yeah, it's not just glow in the dark. It's lighting up.
Sorry, I mean he's in the dark, so it could be glow in the dark. It's
As Harper proposed to me, he brought out a fidget spinner with LEDs on it, and it's the most beautiful thing in the world I've ever seen. Yeah. And I just have to say, yes, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. He said yes. Okay, so an American, I hear, is now the captain of the Vancouver Canucks.
The first time in Canucks history.
So we already control your politics. Now we control your hockey, too.
Well, you don't control the politics because Justin Trudeau is in charge.
And soon, Pierre Polievre.
Oh, did you see? Sorry. So Pierre Polievre, who is the scumbag leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, he was on a plane today. We're recording on 9/11, and he got on the intercom and was like, I just want to thank WestJet and the air crew for this glorious flight. And I'm like, if I was on that plane, I would have fucking bodied him. Like I would have been.
You would assault a man at the one place you probably shouldn't assault people.
Absolutely, because listen,
we've had this conversation before. Don't start shit at airplanes and airports.
Listen, I'm a big guy, and I'm like, get off the intercom. Like my thing is like, if you're not the staff of on the airplane, like if you're not, a stewardess or the pilot, don't get on the fucking intercom. Like I think that's a pretty easy.
Pierre Polievre looks like Milhouse, regardless of whether he has glasses on or not. Like he looks like that one frame that they have of Milhouse where he takes off his glasses and they're super
the
beady.
Opposition leader. I don't know who Pierre Molyneux or whatever.
Leader of the Conservative Party. He's a huge dweeb. He sounds like
he looks like Ben Shapiro got stung by bees.
That's a perfect analogy, and I will use that.
Ben Shapiro with bad skin.
On. Ben Shapiro's got lip filler. Technically, he's already been stung by bees.
Ooh, there you go.
Sasha, you cut my diatribe about Ben's lip filler out on a previous episode.
How fucking dare you?
I never let that go.
That's my future husband right there. How dare you censor him?
Harper or Ben Shapiro?
Harper.
Yeah, Robert's game for Ben Shapiro to get to Abigail.
I'm married to Robert Delilah, okay? So he lives in Arizona.
So I'm married to Robert Delilah.
You got to talk faster. It's not. Like,
I'm not in love with my sister.
I'm married to Barbie.
I'm married to Robert Delilah.
I went to see Barbie. It is a movie for little girls, all right?
It's not wrong.
It's a movie about dolls.
His dick is so yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. His cum in my tummy.
Yeah, I got this. Oh, God. I don't like the fact that Ben Shapiro is sexually attracted to me.
Robert, I've listened to every episode of Seinfuck at least 4 times. And the conclusion that I've drawn is that you have a massive honker.
I heard you have a big hog. I heard you have a big, big hog.
Your dick's looking a little dry there, sir.
Yeah, I think a belly full of cum. Give it to me right now. Yeah, the perfect for the Seinfuck 50th anniversary spectacular. No,
we gotta not call the episode that. By the way, we gotta call it something like really dumb instead.
Yeah, no, we're gonna call it like vomit, piss, diarrhea.
Just the usual schlock.
Just the usual expulsions.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something like, but mommy, I puked in your vagina.
Jesus Christ, Sasha. No.
I'm putting that down as a possible title.
No.
Then we try and sell it to our friends and be like, no, it makes sense when you actually listen to it.
Like listening in context, it really brings it home. It's just
You're listening out of context. You took our words out of context. It's not what we meant to say.
That's
not going to be it.
Well, it could be.
We talked earlier about things that would make me leave the podcast. That is on there.
That's on there?
Well, why didn't you say that? Why did you make it this guessing game of like, you don't want to know, Sasha?
I'm just a bit of a tease, Sasha. That's all.
Oh, Sasha.
You never know.
You know, I gotta make you want it. Sasha, I'm not sure that's the... I gotta make you want me, you know?
I'm not really sure that's the way I want to go.
I like the chase. I like the chase.
Why do you make him sound like Stewart from Mad TV? It's so fucking funny.
I love me doing my impression of Sasha's impression of me.
I'll never forget like Robert getting mad because I suggested I do an impression of him in front of his family. And he's like, they're not going to find it like realistic. And then I did it. And his brother like head back, eyes closed, belly laugh going, ha, ha, ha.
That is true, yeah. David always sounds like my brother David. He always sounds like a supervillain who just is like pre-monologue. It's just like Harper's known my brother for a very long time.
He's so funny. One time we were too loud we slept right next to David. I was like on the floor in Robert's room. And he comes in there and he's got a Coke bottle. It's empty. He like looks at me. He's just like, if you're not more quiet, I am going to put this in your asshole filled with sulfuric acid. It will slowly drip into your prostate.
I mean, that is legitimately happened once.
I was just like, who let you have sulfuric acid, David? He's like, good night.
my brother.
Was he always like a funny threat guy? He's just like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
No, I mean, there was a legit betting pool during high school. My brother was always top of the list.
Yeah, people were pretty odds in on the pool that David would be the school shooter, but they were wrong.
That's not even a joke. I just want you to know that. I put money down on him. It's fine. Yeah, he went into the military. It's fine.
He channeled his aggression.
Yeah, there it is.
And now he speaks like 4 languages. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. You know, like just as they say, 9/11 happens and then you go to war with 3 different countries that had nothing to do with it.
And my brother speaks all their languages. Why didn't we come out with the 50th episode being the first visual episode? I'm just saying.
We'll do that for the 52nd episode potentially.
Yeah, that'll be our real anniversary, number 52.
Because they say that's the DC 52, Seinfuck 52.
Listen, he's onto something. He's onto something. Robert, what's 9 minus 11?
2.
It took you a long time to come to that, but we'll
Like the amount of time it took me.
You turned the 2 upside down. What do you got?
A 5?
A 5.
Backwards 5?
Wait, 9 minus 11 is -2.
Huh?
9 minus 11 is -2. He's right. Oh, sorry, Mr. Mathematician. You want to suck your own dick?
Boy, I wish I could. It'll save me a lot of money.
Hey, Robert, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
You seem like someone who is perpetually outraged. My question for you, have you ever seen like a sign that someone has put out in front of either a business or like their house that is wrong, but so confidently wrong that you think about it afterwards?
Give me an example and I might have an idea.
So I've actually seen this in a couple of places, but the example that I'm going to go with is that there's a bar on Main Street in Vancouver. They put out on one of those, like, you place your own letters and make whatever message type of signs, like you'd see at like a marquee. They put up a joke that just said, "In dog beers, I've only had one."
Oh, goodness gracious.
So you've had 7 beers, yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's not funny. That's
pretty good.
That's just the thing.
Think about it for a second long.
Dog.
I get it.
Dog beers. Yeah, it's in dog years. You've 7 your dog.
No.
It's
think
not
about
funny.
It.
It's just
No.
dumb.
You need to keep thinking about it.
You there yet?
I mean, no, not really.
So
it's just a pun on dog years.
If what he's saying is in dog beers he's had one, dogs had an accelerated
Whoa, then,
life.
so he's had 1/7 of a beer. Okay. Is that what made you think of that? That -2 thing made you think of that, didn't it?
What?
The 9 minus 11. That's the -2 made you think of that.
He's got this locked and loaded. Like when Sasha comes on to the podcast and he's doing beer stuff, it's gonna be a banger, right? It's a banger.
I've had 1/7 of a beer. My name's Sasha.
I have 1/7 of an IPA.
A guy is trying to pass off the fact that he's had less beer than presumably his nagging partner wants him to have had. And so,
like, I get what you're saying.
Well, no, you just went,
It's incredibly dumb.
I don't know if it's incredibly dumb so much as it's wrong because of what they're trying to communicate. Because the more you think about it, you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. So you're saying you had 1/7 of a beer? Why would you say you've had one beer?
I mean, I get your issue with it. At the same time, it just kind of seems like you're pulling hairs. You're splitting hairs, sorry.
What are you talking about? It's communicating the opposite of what it wants to communicate.
Yeah, but unintentionally, but you understand the joke nonetheless.
No, but once you understand the joke, then you think about it some more and you realize that the point they're making is not serving what they're trying to communicate.
Sure, but people get it nonetheless. Like, people aren't going to...
No, but it...
Only, like, the very weird people, very weird antisocial people are going to be like, excuse me, I think you got this a little mixed up.
I am so mad right now.
I know.
What the fuck?
Awesome. You guys know Scooby-Doo? Never seen it before?
No.
So about,
we haven't got that in Canada yet.
Scooby-Doo. You know, they'll regularly have celebrity guests like the Harlem Globetrotters or Kiss.
Or the cast of Supernatural.
That episode was so good.
They made a movie about Scooby-Doo and Kiss, so that makes me very happy.
They made several.
Listen, Kiss has everything. All right, you want to kiss Coffin? Got it. If you want to kiss, Hammer, you got it. You want to kiss Treehouse? It's in the works.
If you could insert one celebrity into a Scooby-Doo mystery for one episode, who would you choose?
I don't know why I think this would be really funny, but John Mulaney I think would be incredible on a Scooby-Doo.
Horrible guess for Scooby-Doo.
No, but he's like completely useless. Like, he doesn't solve anything.
Just complains the whole time.
Exactly. That's why it's funny.
I'm trying to think of, like, maybe the Island Boys.
Horrible. They make out with each other.
I would just I would just say that's probably a realistic
They go for the Island Boys' help, and they're just in a closet making out with each other.
Completely datted out. Like, what's it with the Island Boys thing? No.
Let's run the Ray, guys. What's that fucking dog saying? I don't know. Kiss me.
Yeah. What about you, Sasha? Who would be your celebrity that you think could be on the show?
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, yes.
Why don't I know who this is?
Because it's sports.
I like sports. I don't like hockey or football because it's fake or any of that stuff.
He's a basketball football guy.
Well, okay.
And he gets outraged really easily, and he'll like throw his towel and be like, "Come on, man, that's your take. That's your take." And there's also a great compilation video of him predicting the wrong team to win the NBA Finals like 10 years in a row.
Awesome. We love a local celebrity.
What about you, Harper? Who is yours?
Sam Hyde.
Sam Hyde would just be the villain.
He's just walking around in a hallway, like behind the Scooby-Doo gang. He's just like, this place is driving me bongos. I'm going Zuzu in here.
Wait, Kenan Thompson guested on Scooby-Doo?
As who?
As Kenan Thompson.
What? Oh no!
There's a current series of Scooby-Doo called Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, and I'm about to name some of these appearances, and I want you to react accordingly. Right. Chris Paul, Wanda Sykes, Ricky Gervais.
I just like the idea of Ricky Gervais being like, just being like, there's no God. Like,
hey, Scooby, have you given up your belief in God?
There's no such thing as ghosts.
Jaleel White as Steve Urkel.
All right, that makes sense. But was that recently, or was that in the 80s?
This is 2019 is when this series started. I'm going to keep reading these. Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller?
Teller can't even speak. Why was he there?
Jim Gaffigan.
Okay, yeah, I can see
that. All right, that's fair. He has like 9 children.
Weird Al.
Okay, that also is fair.
Perfect
one,
fit.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sia, the pop music star, as herself.
Okay.
Sia, yeah.
Kenan Thompson.
Now you see it, now you don't.
Whoopi Goldberg. Mark Hamill.
Okay, that's fair. He's a great voice actor.
Halsey, which I don't know who the fuck that is.
She's a singer.
Hard line down on Takei, unbelievable.
Steve Buscemi. This is one of my favorites. Jeff Dunham.
Oh no!
No fucking way they put.
He
Jeff
does
in
Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. I'm sure.
In Scooby-Doo.
Maddie Ziegler, Jeff Foxworthy.
Amazing. The bottom of the barrel was scraped.
Was he joined by Bill Engvall and Larry the Cable Guy? Was it like the three of them?
No, it looks like it was just Jeff Foxworthy.
Just Jeff.
The thing with the premise of this show of like constantly having new guests in is like, this is for the parents watching it with their kids who are like, oh, please give me someone I recognize. Because there's no kid who sees the reveal at the beginning of the episode is like, Wanda Sykes is on this episode? No way!
Malcolm McDowell.
What?
Exactly. It says the Hex Girls, but the Hex Girls have been a Scooby-Doo staple since like 1998.
Is it Malcolm McDowell as Alex Delage from A Clockwork Orange?
Clockwork Orange, that would be incredible. I think it's just him, though.
I mean, he played Alex Delage in the Space Jam too.
Space Jam, yeah, he's very clearly in the background of Space Jam.
Christian Slater.
What?
Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye. That's the list so far.
Dude, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
This is an ongoing series, so I'm sure they're going to listen to this podcast and say like, oh, Scooby-Doo and the Redneck Comedy Tour. John Mulaney. And
can you imagine Christian Slater solving Scooby-Doo mysteries where it's like, what do you think, Christian? And he's like, I think we should go into that room over there, Scoob.
And then, of course, in 2014, Scooby-Doo had Scooby-Doo and the WrestleMania Mystery.
Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible time for television.
Morgan Freeman has an episode.
I say we have to take the mask off and see who's really scaring people off the property.
Andy Dufresne, what are you doing here? I thought you'd be in Sowataneo.
I thought you crawled through 3 miles of shit-smelling foulness and came out clean the other side.
Alex Trebek before he passed.
Oh, I'm glad you specified that. I thought it was Alex Trebek after he died.
It's just the gases escaping from his corpse. I feel like the Blues Brothers should have been on Scooby-Doo. I think that would have been a really good episode. No, I don't think so.
I thought they were a long time
ago.
It
would have been Blues Brothers 2000 with Jim.
Yeah.
Robert, remember when you said that Jim Belushi was the Belushi that was in Blues Brothers 1?
I'll kill you.
Taylor had a wild dream the other day that involves one of you, actually.
Taylor being Sasha's girlfriend, obviously.
Doesn't need explanation.
It does need explanation.
It does.
It's funny because like Taylor's dreams are often like very grounded in that they feature people she knows doing things that are like outside of the realms of possibility and feels like something that could conceivably happen. So she came to me and she told me that she had a dream that
it was three of us on vacation. It was me, Taylor, and Malcolm. And we were all sharing a room. We were in like Mexico or something in a hotel. And the way she said it is that Malcolm and I we got stuck in this pattern of doing things for the bit. She said that it was like out of control, where it was just like anything we did was just very much, we would like do something stupid and go, but it was for the bit. It was for the bit. And eventually it evolved.
So you had gay sex with Malcolm.
Yeah, that's where it goes, actually.
Awesome. Great
So
dream.
she says that we start fucking and she catches us and she's like, what's going on? And we're both like, oh, but it's for the bit.
It was funny, babe. I'm sorry, babe.
And
It's so funny.
Don't worry about it, honey.
And at that point, Taylor burst through the door and goes, no!
Why wasn't I in this dream?
Yeah, why isn't it Robert?
Taylor's like, we do not ever want to see you again. You are persona non grata. And we leave. And then as we're leaving, I say, like, it was for the bit, though. Like.
She wakes up. Oh, that's such a fucked up. That was.
I'm going to say this kindly, Sasha. The CIA couldn't torture that out of me.
Batman could not extort that information from me, my friend.
Exactly.
You know what's crazy is that girlfriends will have those dreams and they'll be like mad at you when they wake up.
Yeah, like you did something in my dream and I'm upset.
I've never had that, actually.
That's like one of the most common observations nowadays, but I feel like it's a recent phenomenon where women will wake up and be like, I had a dream that you were sleeping with another woman and I caught you and you said it wasn't a big deal. And I'm still mad at you. And it's just like, I had a dream that I went to go cut up a pineapple.
This is the conversations that we have where it's like she has these really emotional, affecting dreams where she's like, and then we got in a fight and you're like, I need some time and space. And you said, what? I said, what does that mean? Like, are you breaking up with me? And you said, I just want some space right now. And then you left me alone. And then I was just crying.
I feel like that's a little more understandable than having gay sex with one of your friends for a bit. That's a little bit like the outlandish line has been crossed.
Oh, it wasn't so outlandish when we did it though, and it was a funny bit.
It was a funny bit.
I thought funny penis was our crowd killer. Yeah, let me tell you about my dream. Robert's dreams are always incredibly horrific. I don't know what he eats before bed, but it's been like a thing for 7 years now where he'll be like, I was in a hallway and then suddenly gravity inverted and I was carrying a serving tray and everything inside of it just started spilling upwards, but not in the way that I was falling. And I was just sitting there just like, well, I had a dream that I was lifting weights in the same room as some hot women and it made me uncomfortable. I tried to leave, but it just sent me back through the other entrance.
It's like I've had another a friend of ours who was just like, yeah, I think Malcolm and Sasha would get married for a bit. And I was like, what is this like thing? Like we're being like fan-casted by the women around that are like circle our lives who are like, these two guys can't just be good buddies. They gotta like fuck each other in their dreams and then get married.
I mean, I've been in public with both of you guys, and I get that you guys are good for the bit, but I don't think you'd go that far. I don't know what these women are seeing.
Yeah, we're getting shipped. It's listen, it's the one of the several queer baiting relationships of this podcast. I have a bit. I have a segment. Yeah, as you know, I've been working just on a piece of literature that I think will change the world. I recently finished chapter 2 of the Calypso Recall.
My God, it's finally here.
Oh my God.
Our prayers are answered.
I've been kissing the little bronze bust of Malcolm I have in my closet every single night, praying, hoping,
Yours
wishing.
is made out of bronze? Why did you come in third place?
Too broke for gold.
This is chapter 2, which I call I Drown in Her Wetness.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Calypso Recall, chapter 2 by Malcolm McLeod.
There was a rip in the force field, and the Galactus Empire's large, slender silver ships had pierced through the shields of the Resistance. Man had once dreamed of reaching the stars. Now man dreams of simpler times, but I digress. I remember my birth. I was pushed out of the warmth of my mother's vaginal canal.
Vaginal canal. Thank you, Malcolm. And
You meant what you said.
did
Just
you
keep
really
it.
have the line, I remember my birth?
Yeah, don't comment. Just listen.
Okay.
I was pushed out of the warmth of my mother's vaginal canal and into the cold of an unforgiving universe filled with heartbreak and death. I cried my big cry when I entered the world. Why would a god be so cruel as to allow me to enter this realm of existence? I would cry myself for weeks to sleep, nay, years, thinking about the complex cruelty of man. Somehow I grew up. I stopped being a baby. I started becoming a boy and then a teenager. And finally, I evolved into the man you see before you today. But I digress. The Space Brigades were having a big party. I, Captain Thomas Tubular, Man of the Stars, was in charge of putting together the celebrations. But I have a secret. I'm afraid of balloons. Ever since the synthetic helium was discovered on Xeon B4209, the sounds of the popping have made me shard out my creamers. Creamers in this world are delicious faith-based snacks, but I digress. I told my best friend, Dr. Philharmonic Gay Orchestra, his name has changed because of a marriage he had with a woman from Elon 2B6, about the party. He was gleeful, and he and his wife, Mistress Concubine Gay Orchestra Cello, would be hosting the party. I would just be attending, for I like to be anonymous at events, for I have an anxiety disorder called parallaxis. But I digress. As the streamers were being propped up
Strangle you.
on my ship's main hallways, and the gray gale was being poured into the hollowed out and hardened bellies of the pork people of Abalon 6B8, I could not help but wonder who would I meet. We invited members of the resistance from across the galaxy to attend our soiree. Oh, the network to be had. But I digress. The music starts to blare, and as the members of the Resistance Rebels Alliance of the Universe started showing up, I happened to notice a buxom blonde-haired stud of a lady from the other side of my ship's soiree room. Was this love at first sight? I, Captain Thomas Tubular, Man of the Stars, had to talk to this beautiful specimen of a human woman. Her tits perfect, her vaginal lips pressed against the gray latex skin-tight uniform she was wearing. I walked over to her with confidence of 1,000 suns. As I shouted to her, a man with a mission to fuck. I was stopped.
Of 1,000?
My God, I heard Dr. Gay Porn Orchestra. We're being attacked. The party drew out its weapons, and over the space intercom, I heard the sound of a man. It was my mortal enemy. My name is Gordon from the House of Gordon. We command you to surrender by the order of the Galactus Empire. I turned over to get this beautiful woman's name before we started to fight, but she was gone. Will I ever find her? I thought as I shed a tear for a potential love lost, but I digress. End of chapter.
I got progressively more angry at you every single time you said, but I digress. And I can barely look at you right now.
Malcolm, can you send this to publishers as a tease so that if you get published before Robert, it'll be so funny?
I would literally murder you.
I have offers from 6 major publishers. E.L. James is mentoring me right now. They say that I have the talent of a generation.
I would literally murder you.
They say that this is a story that will be told for, just not my words, for generations.
See, this just makes me happy because in a recent thing I wrote, a cheap romance novelist did get murdered, and I was not sad about it.
This is not a romance novel. This is an epic story set in the stars.
Robert, I do think that you should write a story about each of us getting murdered and like your character living a very rich and like healthy life, while like his like secretly hated author comrades get murdered brutally.
Yeah, you should call it If I Did It.
I will kill myself if you get that published.
I will. Like, I might not actually kill you, Malcolm, but I probably will kill myself.
Oh,
I'll kill you. I'll do it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You only true friends would kill me at that point.
Only true.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, the Calypso Recall Chapter 2 threw me off so much. My brain is like a fog right now. I am like rage and hate and self-hatred has just kind of flowed there to a point where I like my whole segment is just like, how do I bring this up? I can't. I'm too angry.
So are you saying that you have finally been exposed to good writing and you realize that your life is a lie?
Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Why don't you read a submission, Robert? Do we have a submission to read?
No, I'm not reading a fucking submission.
No, we can talk more. I mean, I have.
Okay, how about this? Here's just gonna be my fucking segment. It was gonna be, what is your most shameful YouTube subscription? You fucking. It wasn't gonna be that, but it's on the note, so I'm gonna fucking ask you.
I'm gonna ask you.
Fuck.
I'm gonna ask you guys.
Sorry, guys, my real voice came out. My most shameful YouTube subscription.
Yeah, pull it up. What are you subscribed to on YouTube that you wouldn't want even your mom to know?
Probably Game Grumps. People knowing that I like Game Grumps or that I watch them on occasion might get me removed from certain social circles that I inhabit. Luckily,
Put on
people are
certain
too
watch
cool to
lists.
listen to
Yeah.
podcasts.
I think I'm subscribed to BuzzFeed.
Ooh, that is bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to replace you, Sasha. I think you fed enough of Malcolm's voice to that AI.
We can just
I had
AI
me
the rest
speaking
of
Hindi
this.
the other day. I showed that to my girlfriend, and she was honestly horrified.
I mean, the Hindi was the most accurate sounding, is what it was.
Malcolm sounds really good speaking French. You sound really good speaking Spanish. And Harper is just kind of an all-rounder. Anything I have him say, I'm like, my God, he is an Italian man.
You know, I saw a weird movie the other day. You guys ever seen Inuo?
No.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Inuo is about I won't spend too much time on it because Malcolm hates anime and he bullies me every time I talk about it off camera.
You fucking nerd.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat your boogers next time I see you, little fucking nerd. Get ready to make friends with the toilet.
I'm sorry, boogers?
Yeah, I don't like the way you said boogers.
Don't worry, Sasha. This time it's a bit.
Oh, okay. All right, that's our safe word. It's a bit.
It's a bit.
That's a really long safe word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is about Inuo, Harper? Because I actually am curious now because the art of the thing looks really cool.
It's about some kid that gets blinded by a cursed Japanese regalia at the bottom of a lake and or a river or whatever, where a famous battle occurred. And because of this curse, there's a child born in the same village that like has an extra long arm. He's like horribly deformed and stuff. He has to wear a gourd mask everywhere. And the blinded child learns to play the biwa, and they just happen to meet up one day. And the biwa player is learning stories or whatever, and spirits happen to gather around the kid with the long deformity arm and the gourd mask, and he can dance really well. And it turns into a Japanese Edo period rock opera. I was in awe when he started dancing like the king of pop to a song that was ostensibly about a Edo period feudal Japan battle. And then the Queen tribute was nice, although it had taken me out of the movie considerably.
Wait, they had a tribute to Queen Elizabeth in the movie?
Oh my God.
Or Queen, the band Queen. Okay, that would have been, I'm sorry to say, that would have been a lot funnier.
Syntax, context, it's
Sasha's
lost
so
on you.
done with this.
I think we should
Just
say
like, I'm
goodbye
gonna
to
have
this.
to edit all this out.
It's true.
I really do feel like I broke your brain, Robert. Like I really feel like you're a shell.
I spent all day yesterday and pretty much the majority of the day today writing. And so I think that's probably why the Calypso Recall broke me in the way it did. Yeah, I probably spent like more than 20 hours over the last 2 days, and he just pussy lips pressed against gray polyester.
Yeah, the real question is, was it her pussy lips or her vulva? There is a distinction.
He said pussy lips. I'm just quoting.
I think he said vaginal lips.
Yes, I said.
Oh, he did say vaginal lips.
I said
That's
her.
so much worse.
Her vaginal lips pressed
much
against
worse.
the gray latex skin tight uniform. Well fitting.
Like, it's honestly good that you aren't right next to me right now, because they probably would have strangled you. Like, it's not even a joke at this point. They would have assaulted you in some way.
You really want this on the record, Robert? I will kill you.
I said I would have assaulted you, not killed you.
Well, you also said you were going to kill me.
I would have been escorted out of the apartment.
I will listen, Robert. It would be an honor for you to kill me. I just think it would take a lot more effort than you think it would, because I'm a man who has beat death before, and I will beat it from your hands.
That's right.
I will beat you off from death, from killing me.
You will beat him off from killing you.
It's a bit. All right.
For the bit, yeah.
Let's read a response, and then we can find our way out of episode 50. We did it. We got to 50 episodes, and we're going to do at least 50 more.
When we make it to 100, who would everyone's dream cameo be to wish us congratulations for that accomplishment?
Chris Hansen.
I want to get Fernando Tatis Jr. on so I can just ask about him getting caught for steroids the entire time. I think that would really make me happy.
How about Putin? Everyone, he's a controversial figure. He'll boost our numbers.
If he's not on a cameo by the time we get to 100, I'm getting Stephen A. Smith for you.
Obama would be nice.
He's also not on.
No, you got to find an actor
on cameo.
Pretty much the entire cast of Scrubs is on there.
I do like JD.
We might be crazy, but I feel like we're above getting Zach Braff as a cameo.
That is insane.
Actually, we wanted to speak of Zach Braff. I was going to save this for another episode, but I want to read it out. So there's an account on Twitter. It's called Letterboxd Reviews with Threatening Auras. And someone reviewed Zach Braff's 2023 film that he directed, A Good Person. And I just want to read this out because it is one of the greatest things that's ever been posted on Letterboxd. It's going to take a sec. It goes, they give it half a star. And the person is Lee M. QL, spelled Kuil. It goes, one time someone gave me Zach Braff's phone number, and years later I was bored and called it, but no one answered. Later, he called back and left a very nasty message accusing me of prank calling him for years and making his life hell, and said finally he had my phone number and he was going to report me to the cops. His manager or something called me repeatedly over the next few weeks, telling me to stop calling him and that they were going to get the police involved. I was like, I only called him once, you bootlicking moron. Sometimes I play people Zach's voice message, which is funny because of how upset he sounds. Anyway, fuck you, Zach. This movie looks stupid as hell. Why don't you write a movie about how I dialed your phone number once and you cried about it, you little bitch? That's it.
Didn't he also like assault a 12-year-old who was on because he was on an episode of Punk'd? Yeah. It would like they pretend scratched his car and he like beat up a 12-year-old.
So no, he did. Yeah, he did do that. So I will say that knowing the Punk'd story of Zach Braff, this also sounds very real.
Completely believable. Yeah.
It's like this guy's going off the handle, and I just love that this was reviewed March 30th, 2023, which was before his movie A Good Person was released. And it turns out, it turns out Zach Braff, not a good person. He's a bad person, or at least a bratty person.
So our fan question comes from us today from Al, or it could be AI. I'm not quite sure with this format.
Are there is there dots in between it, or
no? There's no dots, but it doesn't quite look like a cap. It doesn't look like a lowercase L. It looks like a capital I.
Okay. What song did he recommend?
All right. I'm going to make an assumption that if there's no dots in between the A and then the next letter, that's probably L.
But it looks different in this form. This whole fucking thing. I've lost my soul in the last 20 minutes. So give me a second. Their problematic song recommendation was "Foster the People, Pumped Up Kicks."
Jesus Christ.
And the question is much worse, and it is, I'd like to have each of the Seinfuckers answer this one at a time. What is, individually, the worst terrorist attack you could pull off, ? And in parentheses, mass shootings do not count. Ironically, because their song recommendation was Pumped Up Kicks.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. I could knock over a bin somewhere and probably yell at a homeless man. What do you fucking want from me? What do you want from me, Joe?
That's not a terrorist attack. You've got to make the assumption that
I'm terrorizing a homeless man. That's a house. I'm using
listen. That terrorist attack by you, Robert, is just you announcing your run for Senate as a Republican.
Have you ever considered that Joe is like your CIA personally assigned agent trying to get you into terrible situations and implicate you in crimes you didn't commit?
That's why he got you fired from the ginger place, because that way he knew your life would go off track and you'd be a potential terrorist.
Yeah, he certainly has a vested interest in my failure. So
he's like, I got to get you back up into the mountains, planting trees with
which
me.
5G tower are you going to take a bandsaw to?
what's the best terrorist attack I could pull off?
The best? It says the worst terrorist attack.
It seems like a good time to use that 9/11 logo, by the way, that we made at the beginning of the podcast.
Could you steal a truck and drive it into a building and then it goes kablamo? Like that's
it is
in
so
this
hard
country,
to do this
probably.
tastefully.
There's no way to, this is the anniversary of 9/11 and we're having to talk about this.
But this is
This is the
insane.
most exhausting episode we've ever recorded. I'm just saying.
What is the funniest 9/11 memory we all have? Mine was, it was the day my dad got braces.
I mean, it's the magazines. I got those magazines. I could pull them out, start flipping through.
Please. Yeah, actually, let's get like 5 or 6 under our belt before we wrap this thing.
No. So for me, my elementary school music teacher taught us all a song that most of us millennials still know, Proud to be an American. A lot of the post 9/11 propaganda was concerning fighting terrorists by being more patriotic than ever, which may have blown up in our faces. However, Green Day's hit album American Idiot aside, that song, it still sticks to my heart. And Robert, I know you know the words.
Well, I'm proud to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the land of dad. Bring that right to me. And I proudly stand up
next to you. That's right.
Sorry.
That's what America.
I think my favorite 9/11 memory. This didn't happen on 9/11, but this was a day. Like it didn't happen on 2001 9/11, but it was 9/11 nonetheless. And my junior year social studies teacher, that I think Harper will remember, was drinking since like 8 a.m. that day, and basically said, in no small words, that we should. So that was fun. And that
Jesus
was like
Christ.
2011. That was like 10 years after the fact.
My God, I think for me the most memorable was the day that it was happening. My mom woke my brother and I up and then forced us to watch CNN and be like, "You have to remember this. History is in the making." And then the second plane went into the tower.
Did you know that there was an episode of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who where they met the cast of Scooby-Doo?
This isn't working out.
This isn't.
I thought you were going to say, it was like, on this week's episode, Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, where Scooby and the gang were when the towers got hit.
We have to unmask bin Laden. I think there's a funny joke I heard pretty recently. How did it go?
This is great content, guys.
No, hold on. This is pretty good. So, a rabbi, a priest, and an imam walk into a bar. Right?
Yeah.
Right? How could this have happened?
What does that mean?
Il y avait une déchirure dans le champ de force, et les grands et minces navires argentés de l'Empire Galactus avaient percé les boucliers de la résistance. Autrefois, les hommes rêvaient d'atteindre les étoiles. Aujourd'hui, ils rêvent de temps plus simples. Mais je m'éloigne du sujet. Je me souviens de ma naissance. J'ai été poussé hors de la chaleur du canal vaginal de ma mère et dans le froid d'un univers impitoyable, rempli de chagrin et de mort. J'ai poussé mon grand cri en entrant dans le monde. Pourquoi un Dieu serait-il si cruel pour me permettre d'entrer dans ce royaume de l'existence? Je pleurais pendant des semaines, voire des années, en pensant à la cruauté complexe de l'homme. D'une manière ou d'une autre, j'ai grandi, j'ai arrêté d'être un bébé, j'ai commencé à devenir un garçon, puis un adolescent, et finalement, j'ai évolué pour devenir l'homme que vous voyez devant vous aujourd'hui. Mais je m'éloigne du sujet. Les brigades spatiales organisaient une grande fête. Moi, le capitaine Thomas Tubular, homme des stars, j'étais chargé d'organiser les festivités, mais j'avais un secret. J'avais peur des ballons. Depuis que l'hélium synthétique a été découvert sur le Xéon B 209, les sons des éclats m'ont fait lancer mes crèmes. Les crèmes dans ce monde sont de délicieuses collations religieuses, mais je m'éloigne du sujet. J'ai parlé de la fête à mon meilleur ami, Dr. Philharmonic Gay Orchestra. Son nom a changé en raison d'un mariage qu'il a eu avec une femme d'Elon 2B6. Il était joyeux et lui et sa femme, Mistress Concubine Gay Orchestra Cello, organiseraient la fête. Je serai simplement présent, car j'aime rester anonyme lors des événements, car je souffre d'un trouble anxieux appelé parallaxis. Mais je m'éloigne du sujet. Alors que les banderoles étaient calées dans les couloirs principaux de mon Viceroy et que la Gail Greases et Versailles dans les ventres creux et durcis des Hommes Porks de Ballon 6B8, je ne pouvais m'empêcher de me demander qui pourrais-je rencontrer. Nous avons invité des membres de la résistance de toute la galaxie à assister à notre soirée. Oh, le réseautage à avoir. Mais je m'éloigne du sujet. La musique commence à retentir et alors que les membres de l'Alliance des rebelles de la résistance de l'univers commencent à apparaître, il se trouve que je remarque un étalon plantureux aux cheveux blonds d'une dame de l'autre côté de la salle de soirée de mon navire. Était-ce un coup de foudre? Moi, le capitaine Thomas Tubular, l'homme des étoiles, devais parler à ce magnifique spécimen de femme humaine. Ses seins, parfaits. Ses lèvres vaginales se pressèrent contre l'uniforme moulant en latex gris qu'elle portait. Je me suis approché d'elle avec la confiance de 1000 soleils. Je me suis dirigé vers elle, un homme avec une mission, pour baiser. Mon Dieu! J'ai entendu Dr. Gay Porn Orchestra. Nous sommes attaqués! Le groupe a sorti ses armes et, par l'interphone spatial, j'ai entendu le bruit d'un homme. C'était mon ennemi mortel. Je m'appelle Gordon, de la maison Gordon. Nous vous ordonnons de vous rendre sur ordre de l'Empire Galactus. Je me suis retourné pour obtenir le nom de cette belle femme avant que nous commencions à nous battre, mais elle avait disparu. La retrouverai-je un jour, pensais-je, en versant une larme pour un amour potentiel perdu. Mais je m'éloigne du sujet.